Growth is painful and change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Good morning and welcome to Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes. My name is Pia McAdams. I'm an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also fitness. I help people reach their goals. And today we are doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And I want to first start off by saying happy Friday to you. All right, so we are in our mind portion. I want you to understand that this is just going to be a 5-minute lesson to learn, but guess what? It's going to take you a lifetime to master. And another thing I want you to understand is this: I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to help you unlock what's already within inside of you. All right, so with that being said, we are discussing the book Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And so for your question today that I want you to ponder is ponder. Don't you like that word, ponder? First thing in the morning, I want you to ponder. All right, so the question I want you to think about is, how do you know when it's time to let go? All right, so ask yourself that, like, how do you know when it's time to let go? Now, as you can recall in the story, if you've been tuning in, by the way, thank you for watching. And for those of you that are just joining me, welcome. And by the way, these are recorded. So all these broadcasts are recorded. And you can find them on my Facebook page, my fan page. And you can also find them on my YouTube channel as well. Okay, that's enough of the plug. Okay, so anyway, in the story, this is a story about the mice, the two little mice, and then the two little people. So yesterday in the story, they found their cheese in Station C. So let me kind of recap just a moment. So the cheese represents what it is that you want in life. And then the maze, because they're in the maze, represents where do you go to look for it. Okay, so the little mice and the little people, the mice and the little people are in the maze. And yesterday they found their cheese. All right, so what happens to you was yesterday. What happens to you when you find what you want? And generally speaking, you become happy, right? But I'm more so talking about your behavior. How is it that you behave? Well, let's get back to the story. Now today, and again, this is over a short period of time. And by the way, guys, if you've never read this book, or even if you've read it a while ago, I invite you to read it again. It's really a short book. Like I said, it'll probably take you less than an hour to read. It's a little short parable about the profound truths of change. And it's really going to change the way you look at change, all right? And I remember I talked yesterday about the different characters. I'm not going to go into that. You can look at the broadcast yesterday for that. But so today, as time has gone by, but you understand that Sniff and Scurry, the two little mice, they went about their routine. Okay, so every day they were still eager to go to the cheese station C to find their cheese. Remember, the cheese represents what they want in life. Now, also with the little mice, these are little simple-minded creatures, right? So to them, cheese is just cheese, like seriously, okay? So they were eagerly, going to the cheese station, and Sniff would, every day just kind of sniffed around to see what's going on, and Scurry would move around and investigate things to see if there's anything that has changed. Okay, so they pretty much kept that up. Now, as you can imagine, though, the little people, which have a little bit more, have a more complex brain, this is the hem and haw. Well, what they did is they basically, they just took it for granted. They became arrogant. They took it for granted that the cheese is going to be there. Well, today we're going to learn that when they actually got to the cheese one day, guess what? It was gone. All right, so it was gone. The cheese was all gone. Remember, there was a whole bunch of cheese, and cheese represents what it is you want, but now it's totally gone. So what happens in the story? Well, as you can imagine, Sniff and Scurry, they said, okay, the cheese is gone. So they went back out into the maze, and Sniff just kind of sniffs around looking for, some more cheese. And then Scurry, runs around hurriedly runs around in the maze looking for new cheese while Sniff tries to keep up with him. So with them, they didn't overanalyze the situation at all. Okay, they simply realized that change had happened, and they were eagerly ready to make the changes in themselves as well. And also keep in mind that during their daily routines, they always kept their shoelaces tied around their neck. So when it was time for change, they just basically put their shoes on and they went about looking for new cheese. So is that how you handle change? Or Are you hemming and hawing? For instance, in the story, what him and haw did is when they got to the cheese station, and keep in mind, they got there a little later because they were so comfortable. Matter of fact, even though they moved their homes next to the cheese station, they basically would take their time and get up and just get there when they got there because, they took it for granted. Well, when they got there and saw the cheese was gone, as you can imagine, they were surprised and just, surprised as like, just they just couldn't believe it. Like, what happened to the cheese? Like, they were unprepared. They did not prepare for this to happen because their confidence became one of arrogance. Okay. They just took it for granted that the cheese was going to be there. And so when it wasn't, they just was in disbelief. And so they basically stood around hemming and hawing, just trying to say, why is this happening to me or happening to us? Because two of them, why is this happening to us? They had a sense of entitlement. So is that how you handle change? Like, for instance, hemming and hawing, remember, him is the one where, they basically, him and haw, both of them, one of them doesn't like the change. And then the other one, they, questions change. So I'm asking you, when things happen, when change happens, because it does, how do you handle it? When do you know it's time to let go? All right. So again, keep in mind with this parable with Who Moved My Cheese, this is more about addressing how it is that you handle change, because no matter what, change is going to happen. So for you, what is your cheese in life? What is it that make you happy? And by the way, in the beginning of the story, I forgot to mention this as well, is in the beginning of the story, once they found their cheese, him and haw was so happy about it that they start writing on the wall. So yesterday's message, and they surrounded it in the cheese. Yesterday's message was finding cheese makes you happy. So what is it? What is it for you? What is the cheese for you? Is it material things? Is it a new job? Is it a relationship? Is it, a spiritual sense of well-being? What is the cheese for you? And then again, how do you handle it once you get it? I'm not talking about your emotions. Yes, you're happy. Matter of fact, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be happy. You should be happy because it's something that you really wanted. And when we get what we want, we're happy about it. Well, today, him and haw, what happened was they basically sat around all day just discussing why it was happening to them. They didn't make any changes. They just, sat around and just him and hawed all day. And so that night they went home hungry and they went home discouraged. But before they left, Haw wrote on the wall that the more important the cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it. So again, I'm asking you again, how do you know when it's time to let go? All right, so hopefully this discussion was enlightening for you. Keep in mind that, these are little lessons is you look at change in life, because change is going to happen. It's inevitable. And where do you, where not you, you're eager to make the change and you anticipate change, or are you the type of person that just you are totally adverse to change, or do you question change? Again, this is just about how you react to it. All right. So that's it for today for the mind portion. Now we're going to move on to the body portion, and then we're going to move on to the yoga. By the way, I had to charge up my phone here because it was dying on me. All right, so happy Friday. Hopefully everything is going really well for you guys today. Apologize for the late start. I actually, with it being so dark, my internal clock wakes up, regular time, and I start doing my meditation as I do. But then it was so dark that I totally forgot, like my mind, like, oops, sorry, turn out one more time. It's still so dark outside that I literally just lost track of time. And next thing, because normally the daytime also kind of helps me. Next thing I know, it's like 7 minutes to 6 o'clock. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not ready. So that's why the late start. All right. Okay. But now we're going to move on to the yoga portion. And this is the mind-body connection. This is where we're going to get some movement in. I know it's first thing in the morning. Matter of fact, when is that time zone changing? But it's first thing in the morning. And for some of you, you may already be at work, so you may say, "Hey, I can't do it now," but you do tell me you're not able to do it now, but you're able to watch the recording later, which is great. Just make sure that you do, again, remember, the transformation is about change, okay, transforming yourself, and it's just the little small things that we do every single day. I'm just asking 5 minutes. Can you take 5 minutes out of your day, 15 minutes, a total 15 minutes, but 5 minutes at a time if you need to do something for you, for your mind, for your body and your soul, okay, just 5 minutes. And even if you don't have 15 minutes all at once, slice it up, break it up, okay? All right, so we're going to be moving on to the yoga portion. This is where we're doing, again, the mind-body connection. I want you to Stop and contemplate these big words in the morning. Ponder and contemplate what's going on here. Helps that I read in the morning, right? But anyway, I want you to think about what's going on internally inside of you. Okay, so do you have any strains, any stress, any negativity, any pains? What's going on inside of you at this present moment? And that's where we're going to be addressing. All right, so I want you to take three nice deep breaths. Get yourself grounded, get yourself centered before you start practicing yoga. All right, today we're going to start off with something new. We're going to start off in child's pose, and let's do the extended arm child's pose. All right, so get yourself grounded, get yourself centered, and then once that's done, take another breath, and I want you to set an intention on what it is that you want to accomplish for this next 5 minutes. All right, so go ahead and join me over there on the mat. Now I want you to press your fingertips into the mat. Pressing your shoulder blades down, the crown of your head is facing forward. Again, just take a nice deep ujjayi breath, inhaling deeply through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Once you feel a nice gentle stretch from your tailbone to the tips and tops of your fingers, and then go ahead and press those palms down and bring them forward. And then start to transition your body to tabletop as you take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, once you drop your chin down to your chest and round through the spine. And as you exhale, belly goes down toward the mat, head and chest comes forward, tailbone sticks out toward the back of the room. Inhaling to the cat. And exhaling to the cow. Or inhaling to the cow, exhaling to the cat. Go ahead and inhale again. And then this time as you exhale, once you curl your toes under, let's take it to Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. And start to pedal your legs. Fingers and toes are spread out nice and wide. Middle fingers are facing forward. Head is in alignment with your bicep. Then you're pressing your chest toward your thighs and your knees. Get a nice long stretch from your tailbone all the way down to those heels. Now I want you to slowly walk your feet in toward your palms. Keep your palms flat, so if you need to, keep your knees bent. And then slowly lift up, taking it one vertebrae at a time. Making sure that your head is last to rise. And let's come to Tadasana, mountain pose. Sit up nice and tall, strong, sturdy as a mountain. As you inhale, draw the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, dive the body forward. As you inhale, look up halfway. Relax those shoulders, tailbone sticks out to the back of the room. Use your full breath. As you exhale, flatten out the palms. I want you to step back, right, left into the plank. And I want you to release. Continue exhaling. Release your knees, your chest, and your chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. And as you inhale, bring the body forward to upward facing dog. Relax those shoulders, take them down and away from your ears. And as you exhale, curl those toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, bring that right knee into your chest, and as you exhale, extend that right leg all the way back. Again, as you inhale, bring that right knee into your chest, and as you exhale, extend that right leg all the way back. One more time, as you inhale, bring that right knee in toward your chest, and as you exhale, extend that leg all the way back. This time you're going to bend the knee and open up the hip flexors. You're pressing your chest toward that left thigh and knee, lifting that kneecap to engage the quadricep, give you a deeper stretch on that hamstring. Now go ahead and extend that right leg and bring the foot all the way up to the fingertip, and let's take it up to the high lunge. Relax your shoulders. Remember, if there's any strain and stress on your neck, feel free to modify your hands by bringing them at heart center. Now you want to make sure that your knee is directly underneath your ankles and you're pressing your hips down toward the mat. Relax those shoulders, palms are facing forward and hands are open. Now I want you to curl that back toe under as you straighten out the right leg on the inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to guide the body forward into the pyramid. Let's do it again. Inhale, take it up. Relax the shoulder. Exhale. Again, inhale. Take your time and use the full breath. Relax the shoulders. And exhale. Now go ahead and stay here. And just lift the kneecap again to engage the quadricep. And use your breath, because right now my hamstring is tight. So as I'm inhaling, I'm just kind of holding my position. And as I'm exhaling, I'm just releasing, surrendering into the pose. But again, don't overstretch it, don't overdo it. Just relax and surrender. Use your breath to internally focus on any strain, stress, pains, or negativity. All right, go ahead and bend the knee. Place the palms down flat. Take it back to the plank. And I want you to exhale to downward facing dog. Again, inhale to plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. All right, inhale to plank. This time as you exhale, you're going to release your knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. And as you inhale, upward facing dog, relax those shoulders, curl those toes under, exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. As you inhale, the left knee comes into your chest, and as you exhale, extend that left leg all the way back. Again, inhale, and exhale. Remember, take your time and use your breath. Inhale, and exhale. This time, go ahead and bend the knee, open up the hip. All right, straighten out the leg. Bring the foot toward the fingertips. And let's take it up to the high lunge. Relax the shoulders. Continue to breathe. All right, inhale. And then curl the back toe under, straighten out the leg. And as you exhale, guide the body forward. Now remember, it's not unusual for one side to be tighter than the other. So be patient with yourself, be kind, be loving, and be gentle. Relax the shoulders. Silently hold and breathe. Lift that kneecap. Now go ahead and bend the knee, flatten out the palms. Take it back to the plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. This time as you exhale, release knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Relax the shoulders. Curl those toes under. Exhale. Now slowly walk your feet in. And just hang here in Uttanasana. Take your fingertips and flash your elbows. Gently rock yourself side to side. As you're breathing, on the exhale again, just surrendering into the stretch, into the pose. Just releasing tension and stress. And then go ahead and release the fingers sit down toward the mat. And then slowly take it up, one vertebrae at a time. Always making sure that your head is last to rise. Inhale. Exhale, dive your body forward, place your palms down flat. Step out toward the edges of the mat, and as you exhale, release the tailbone down toward the mat. Using those elbows to push out on those inner thighs, bring the palms together at the heart center. Bow your head down, Malasana, and give some gratitude. And then go ahead and release your palms down to the mat, and then take them behind you as you start to transition yourself into a comfortable seated position, facing forward. Make sure that you're on your sits bones and off the fleshy part of your bottom. Now let's take 3 nice deep breaths. Inhaling, take the arms overhead. And as we exhale, release the fingertips down toward the mat. Again, nice deep breath. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more time. Deep breath, bringing in all the positive energy. Bring those palms together at the very top. Exhale down through the center. And namaste. I want to thank you for taking the time to practice the yoga with me. And this moves us to the final exercise, which is going to be the meditation. So now in this meditation, we're going to be doing our 2-minute exercise. Again, this is an exercise to help you, particularly for those of you, this is your first introduction, or you're new to meditation. Even those that have been meditating for a while, this is actually a great exercise to do at least twice a day. Okay, so I ask you to do this at least twice a day. Basically, all you're going to do is you're just going to breathe normally, but you're going to count your exhales. Okay, so you're just going to follow your normal breath. You're not going to manipulate it in any way. You're just going to breathe normally, but just count your exhales. And anytime there's any distractions, whether it be externally or internally with your thoughts, I want you to acknowledge the distraction and then focus your breath, your attention back onto the breath and continue counting, but start over with number 1. So again, as you're counting, if you get up to, let's say, number 3 or number 4 or even number 1, and then all of a sudden a thought comes into your mind of something that you need to do or a noise interrupts you, then go ahead and acknowledge that and then bring your focus back to your breath, and you're going to start all over with number 1. All right? But first, let's go ahead and get yourself centered and grounded again, because sometimes you just need to do that. All right, take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Again, deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And this time as you exhale, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and begin your counting. Remember, this is for 2 minutes. Begin. right, go ahead and release, relax, return, refreshed, and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want to thank you for taking this time to meditate with me, and also thank you for taking the time to watch this transform your life in 15 minutes. All right, so your word for today is purposeful. I want you to have a day filled with purpose. And I will see you the same time, 6 a.m. tomorrow. Bye.